Sweet Intellect. Hosted by Dago's Own Festive.
You are now tuned in to Sweet Intellect Radio.
Yes. Oh my God. Hello. Good morning. Buenos dias. Good afternoon and good evening. Just in case we're tuning into different time zones. You have now tuned into Sweet Intellect Radio. I am your host, Festive, joined by 3 other sweet and intellectual women. But before we ask how they are and tap in, I need to set the intentions. Now, you know this is a Sweet Intellect tradition. Every episode, we set our intentions, make sure we claim what is ours, and make sure we manifest what we need to do. With that being said, Seven, take it away.
Hey guys, what's up? It is Seven, your local goddess, ganja goddess to be exact. So let's talk about it. We had the Leo moon that just actually passed. Now, this moon amplified the need to heal and apply pressure. Okay, so making peace with the past and embracing the unknown is what it was all about. This season is about creating new entryways to new beginnings. So how do you want to do that? And I'll let you know. By detoxifying your energy flow, subconscious, personal connections, and bondages attached from the past, including the leeches, okay? It is all about wellness, mental health, growth, and lifestyle success. That is what Leo is all about, and we love that. Now, there has been, I don't know about you guys, but I have been having some crazy dreams from people from the past, and I'll let you know why. There's been a lot of Capricorn placements, meaning reflecting in dreams and blasts from the past. It is retrograde season as well, so they are popping up. Ladies, gentlemen, be careful. Don't respond to those texts, okay? This is what it's all about. Is the relationship meant to mend or end? Have you overcame these lessons? And what have you learned? Make sure to celebrate your milestone of growth and success, okay? Now, last but not least, we got the Venus and Aquarius. So some of y'all about to be some hoes, but it's okay. I'm here to let you know that this is the moment that you're going to feel rebellious, unconventional when it comes to your relationship standards, and a bit aloof, okay? So it's okay to feel aloof, but make sure when you're speaking to other people, you stay present and you make sure that you gain the wisdom from that. And make sure that when it comes to your intelligence, it's valued. So yes, those are the intentions. Happy Capricorn season. Well, it's actually Aquarius season, excuse me. Happy Aquarius season to all the Aquariuses yet again. Love you guys.
Oh my gosh. I think that was my favorite intention so far because you read the fuck out of me, girl. I swear. She was hitting all the notes. Miss Mercury in retrograde. Get up out of here, please, because every time you come around, it's some bullshit. So with that being said, I know I'm going through it, but I want to tap in with my girls. I got Star here on my left. Star, how are you? What's going on?
Hey, what's good? Fuck, man.
Say it.
That says a lot today. I still feel good, but shit, it's been on my plate. It's been a hectic couple weeks, so I am ready to move forward. I know things are going well for me, but I can't wait till the next breather comes.
Yes, maintain the positive. That's what we love to see. And on my right, Miss Teal, the ideal. How are you? What's good?
Hey everyone, I'm doing good. I'm feeling pretty zen, pretty calm. That's not my normal state of mind, so I'm chilling. I'm happy to be here. I love you girls. I haven't seen you for like a week, so it's good to be back with you all.
I love that. And Miss Seven, after setting the intentions, I must ask, how are you? What's going on?
I'm barely keeping my eyes open. I didn't wear any lashes for that reason because they were going to close. Okay. I'm feeling really accomplished. I'm not going to lie. I got a lot of things done this week. I've been really productive. That's why I'm so exhausted. So I love it though, female entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Right. Pray for them.
Pay them. I love that. Exactly. Okay. Most importantly, I think it's good. We all kind of came to the consensus that life's a little hard right now. It's not no walk in the park. However, we're maintaining I think that's kind of always been our mindset, because even though all of us are a little tired, a little burnt out, we still pull up and we have the same energy every single time. And that's just sweet intellect, baby. That's who we are. So, I mean, Teal, you have your Serenity and Sound Waves. You have a little yoga / hit workout event that you do at 1835 Creative Studios. And I think that's so dope, because Teal has been a huge emphasis or motivation to get into more yoga. I will tell you that right now. Like, if you weren't in my life, I don't think I'd be as more curious in yoga as I am, because you go hard for it. So how did you get into yoga? Like, tell people how this thing really goes.
Yeah, yoga is a practice. It is asanas and pranayama, which is breath and movement. Those are the two words. And I actually fell in love with yoga from just being in like the Ocean Beach area. Is kind of where I figured out the culture of yoga. Like in my like really beginning stages of my 20s, I was living with a bunch of roommates, and when I'm an only child, so when I was living with all these roommates, I really didn't know how to balance out my energy. So I just took up the practice to kind of center myself, and ended up manifesting a lot of really amazing things for myself through the practice. And then I obviously noticed there's not a lot of women of color represented in the field. So I took it upon myself. I actually wasn't even trying to be a teacher. Like, I really wasn't. I was definitely trying to go more the route of just being a student, right? It's always better to be a student first and master what you're doing first. So I wanted to do that. And then it moved in towards people saying, wow, well, your practice is so strong and you have such a good energy and you're such a leader. You might as well think about teaching yoga. So, it's one of my goals to just turn people onto it, have the women in my life who are curious about it, learn more about it. And I hope we can get into some more of those topics today. I definitely want to clue everyone in who doesn't know a lot about the practice, and maybe just give you guys the beginner steps to get you maybe the little juices flowing. Maybe you guys want to check it out.
Yes.
So we'll get into it.
Quick question. And before we do, because I need you to run it down, baby, because all I know is a little downward dog and a little tree. But Star, do you practice yoga?
Not like regularly. It's not something that I do is like my thing, but I did go to her HIIT and yoga class last week actually, and it was really good.
Yeah.
It was a burn.
Okay.
And the thing with yoga is like it's harder than it looks. Like it always looks like so graceful and easy, and then you're like, how is she upside down on her toe with her foot and her head is between her, like, you know what I mean? It's a lot.
7. What about you? Are you yoga friendly? Are you yoga vibing? What's your deal?
Oh, I'm definitely yoga friendly. I'm for the body regardless. Like, I had an old friend actually. It's like she always did yoga, but every class she took me to just wasn't it. And so when I met Teal, I told her my complications, okay? Every time I go in there, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel welcome. I don't feel like it's peaceful. I kind of just feel like an outcast. So when I started going to her classes and even just being around consistently, right? You are who you hang around. That turns into that yoga flow. And my body, I feel good from the inside out. So
Yes.
I'm for it.
That's important. They say 72% of people who practice yoga are female. So I think it's cool because 4 out of 4 of us right now, we've at least tried it, or we teach it, or we just get into it when we can. So I love that. Teal, what's like your favorite, like if you were to recommend to people who are just starting out, like how would you get them onto it?
So yoga is breath, all right? It's all about breathing. So first it starts with an awareness. Say you're on your phone, just clicking into yourself and saying, am I holding my breath while I'm on my phone? Okay, take a bunch of deep breaths. Those apps on the if you have such a smartwatch, you can literally record your breaths on there. You can meditate to it. I'm not too into that. I just like to actually meditate without my devices, but just throwing it out there, if you really wanted to start somewhere, you could do that. But it is a breath practice. So starting with your breath, pranayama is what it is in Sanskrit, right? And there's a bunch of different types of breath. The 2 I wanted to talk about today are Kapalabhati, okay, which is going to be a nostril breathing, right? So the mouth is closed and you breathe in and out of each nostril while one is plugged, and it creates this rhythmic balance in the lungs and in the breath and in the energies. So yeah, it's a lot. And we can get into something like that. Or there's something like a more fiery breath, which is going to be like a tummy breathing one. So you're doing short little tight breaths, right? And you're sucking in the tummy as you do that, right? And that's going to create a lot of heat. You can almost sit there, and if you do it for 60 seconds, you start to do beads of sweat like you're starting a workout. It's pretty amazing. But I don't want to overwhelm you guys too much. But yes, breath is where it's going to start. And then you start to flow it with the asana, right? Which is the movement and figuring out which movements. Obviously, the more lengthy part of the movement are your inhales, right? Your big breaths in. And the more contracted posture is going to be your exhale. So think about that next time you're going from downward dog to forward bend, or from standing to forward bend. You're going to want to take your breaths in while your body's long, take your breaths out while your body's in the contracted position.
Wow. I think that's something that people remember even if they're not doing yoga, like lifting and stuff like that. It's a lot of breath control as well, because if you're not aware of that, a lot of times you're throwing yourself out into positions you shouldn't actually be in.
That's true, but that's crazy because, again, when I first met her, she was teaching me about breath work, because sometimes I don't even notice I'm not breathing. Like, and then I'm like, wait a minute, like, you know what I mean? Like, your body's like, release the tension. But the more, like, I keep practicing the breath works and, like, holding my breath, like, at one point, I had, like, what am I trying to say? Like, my throat, I thought I had asthma, and I do have it sometimes when I get like an allergic reaction. So I went to Kaiser, and from just the breath work that this woman told me about, opened up like my whole entire lungs. And I'm like, girl, if I just do this, I don't need. Right. They're just closed, right?
Right. Another thing, there's 3 parts to the breath, right? The inhale, the exhale, and the pause. And a lot of people, if you actually live in that pause, that's where a lot of those benefits happen. I actually learned that from taking swimming lessons as a kid. When you're holding your breath, your lungs are using that oxygen to re-purify your lungs in that moment. So it's like divers, that's why they have such amazing lung capacity, and why their lungs, it's like they're so filled with oxygen from them holding their breaths for so long it elongates it shortens the purifying than just people who think about that, walking around your life breathing like that versus.
So when you say live in it, like hold it in for a second and let it like
beautiful.
sit in your body for a little bit.
Yeah, sit in there like you'd hold your weed smoke.
Thank you. Example A. I like
Example
that.
A, I had to throw that
You guys
in there.
know what you're doing.
Everyone's like, oh yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
But just air.
That's crazy. You know what? I think that's crazy because how you mentioned that, just learning yoga, you learned how to breathe. 100%, I agree with that. And so I feel like yoga teaches you more things. Like, for example, the poses, not only does it help you increase flexibility, but sometimes you can learn what feels good in your body, which makes me want to share a little statistic here. According to careers.co, 75% of women say they are more satisfied with their sex life after practicing yoga. They even had a study where they hit 22 poses over 12 weeks, okay? And almost 3/4 of the women reported improvement in their sex life, implying that, it could be beneficial for the punani.
It's the energy and it's the stretch.
The stretch.
Let's not
And
forget
the way you
about
look,
that.
girl, the
makes a
poses you
difference.
make,
Right.
you
can
can't do
bend
yoga in
over
front
a
of your
little
man.
bit, a little extra 10 minutes. All you thinking is like, I can do it.
Yes, inhale. Exactly. I love that. But
He comes over, I want to try.
I know, I got a new pose for you, baby.
Yes. You want to see?
I think it's crazy because it's like yoga goes from like sexuality to like something deeper. You know what I mean? Not only do you find like wholesomeness within yourself, or you get through the rest of your day, but it can also be a little sexy, a little spicy.
No, there's tantric yoga. When I was in
Ooh.
Thailand, wow. When I was in Thailand, I got positioned for a yoni massage.
Oh, hey, girl.
Back on the yoni topic.
I was like,
again.
wait a minute.
Yoni.
Everybody.
I heard they
But-
got these in Russia.
Yeah, anyways, it's from a woman, not a man, obviously.
Do they do
I
a
wouldn't accept
facial
that.
thing too,
But,
too?
and I obviously... What's up?
You know how they do vajacials? Is that what they're called? Where they put like a face mask or
We're
whatever.
not going on. As as we go off topic on
That
the
is the
vaginas.
name of
But it's
this.
okay. Vaginas are amazing. Okay.
Always.
Yeah, of
All the
course.
time.
Yonis are amazing. Okay, but anyways, yes, but there is tantric yoga. I will throw it out there for the couples out there or people who are engaging in maybe not even committed relationships, but just who are sexually active. What you guys can do to just create some intimacy is one person can sit on top of the other, straddle each other nice, okay? Hug each other's waist, put your hands around each other's necks, and just gaze into each other's eyes, light a candle, create some of that, like everyone's doing it right now, like they got a little pseudo man. But it can be very healing and very awakening to just make sure that you're, and especially you want that person you're giving that sexual energy to, you really want that person to leave you feeling full and not depleted. And I think that the energy and the yoga, that's maybe why sex goes up with the yoga, is your energy is just, you're on such a positive thing. You can give to your man, you can give to yourself, you can give to your friends, and your cup's overflowing.
Yes.
So
I like that.
yeah.
You know what? I would say I've seen, okay, I don't know if y'all remember Tumblr. It's that website where they had all these pictures. I remember there would be like two people exactly how you're describing. If y'all know, y'all know. Shout out Tumblr. But there was people like straddling or people laying next to each other, and it would have like, it'd be a black and white photo of them, but it'd have like their chakras in the middle kind of connected, and it would be like little circles and decals all over them and stars or whatever, and be like, you have to protect your energy with your lover, because what you give is what you also might take from them. So if they're in a negative space, you might intake that negative space. And I think that's interesting because it does tie back to yoga, because yoga has something to do with chakras, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. For those who don't know, your chakras are like the energy points in your body, right? It's kind of how you can tell whether you're in alignment with yourself or out of alignment. It goes pretty similar with your skeletal system. So it's pretty much anatomy at this point that we're talking about, and energetic anatomy. And yes, protecting your energy with partners, with friends can kind of gauge that. There's 7 of them. They're correlated with a color. They're correlated with a key. So also that's how you would get into sound healing, is each key is reflective of each chakra. You didn't know
This
this
is
yet,
blowing
Love?
my mind.
Really, sis?
Oh my gosh.
I love this. I love that I'm teaching you something new.
Hell yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
got my
So
notes.
obviously from E to E, the high E being the top of the head, the low E being the root chakra, and then the notes fill in between in there. So that's how it correlates with sound healing. But yeah, let's talk about that. So you guys can kind of do this along with us. I'll throw out a couple chakras. We don't have to go through all of them, but let's talk about our root chakra, okay? If you guys are feeling like your root chakra is blocked, this is going to be located at the bottom of the pelvis, okay? So men, you guys have it too. Ladies, you know where that is. If it's blocked, you're going to feel a little fearful, possibly anxious. Maybe the finances are unstable and you're a little bit ungrounded, okay? That's going to be all root chakra related. Money's a grounding sensibility. Being financially stable is a grounding feeling. So you might want to work on that if things aren't going into play. Maybe even just meditate on the root chakra. And if you're in balance with it, you're feeling safe, you're secure, you're centered, you're super grounded, and you're happy. And then if you get too much into it, like, my root chakra's just oozing stuff. Maybe the lust starts to come out, the greed, the maybe overindulgence, right? And that's when we can start to see that kind of energy. So I'm sure off of just those 3 things, you can pick up on maybe even someone in your life who might be going through one of those 3 stages of their root chakra. It's pretty interesting.
Or maybe, never mind. I think I just saw maybe a photo shoot. I was thinking of like the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
Aren't they colors?
You
I've
might
never
be
seen
right
that.
on that. You know
I
what?
might just be right on that.
That would be a crazy. You know what?
Because
That
think
would make
about that.
sense.
It's the green chakra is all about the heart chakra, right? But it's also a give and take. It's green. So it on one side, green is flourishing. It's amazing. It's magnificent. It multiplies. But then when it
they do have
doesn't,
colors.
it's jealousy. It's envy. It's gluttony. You know, it's something.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very similar with the chakras.
Yeah, I don't
What-
think they correspond with the same colors as with chakras, but they
Oh,
do.
okay.
Have a
They are
color.
very similar. Yeah. That's crazy. I don't even want to relate those two.
Bada
They
bing,
need to
bada
get together
boom.
then. Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
it just lets you know, like it had to be from somewhere.
Right.
Everything is in
makes
correlation
sense.
with something, basically. Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out with the root chakra, that one and the sacral chakra, the bottom two.
Gotcha.
I've been focusing on those in the last year or so, mostly because that's what I felt like I was missing with like self-worth and like practices on self-love. Those two chakras, or specifically the root chakra, is about your foundation. So if your foundation is uneasy in either way, like that's how you get the unbalanced, lust, or if you're just too closed and you always feel paranoid or you always feel unsafe, that's probably a sign that you need to work on your root chakra because you have to build on the rest of them when you have that one first.
It's very true. Your root chakra is excessively important. When I first started yoga, I could continuously feel the energy like dumping out of me. Like I'd be fully full, right? My cup was full, but it would just get depleted so quick. Like going to my shows and work and like doing all the things I was doing, socializing, I would just like, I'd only be able to kick it for a couple hours and I'd be just down. And that's where all that root chakra thing comes in because it holds the energy in the body and then the body can circulate the energy through. If you're just root chakra's open, it's like, boop, just like dumping out like a rainfall.
Right.
You're like, hey, everybody take some of this juju. But I didn't want to leave you guys without a way to learn how to balance these chakras. So once you figure out which chakra is out of alignment, right? What you're going to do is, for one, Google a couple yoga poses that correlate with that chakra, okay? Practice those. It can be 3 simple or intermediate poses. Also, meditating, giving that chakra grace, love, care. If you're into crystals, you can, lay down in maybe Supta Baddha Konasana, which is going to be a laying down position just with your toes, your bottoms of your feet to touch, legs open, right? So those chakras are exposed. And then just put your hands on your belly. Give yourself some love. Take some breaths and just center yourself. And any more questions you guys have, throw them at us. For sure.
I'm a fan of this. I feel like, okay, we brought this topic up. I was like, yeah, let's get it. I went on Google and I was ready with the stats. Y'all just enlightened the fuck out of me. This is crazy. Like, this is stuff that I haven't found on Google with my little homework thing. I'm definitely into meditation, but I've never tried to tap into my chakras. So to learn that, like, if you're having a problem in your life, don't just blame it on Mercury. Don't blame it on Ms. Mars and Ms. Mercury being in retrograde because it's a little bit deeper than that and you got to look within yourself. So I'm really looking forward to going home and not only practicing some breaths, but then also learning about who I am in my chakras, because learning who you are, as we know, helps you identify yourself. And once you can identify yourself, you can move in your own lane. You can move around certain people. And I kind of want to talk about self-identity. I feel like self-identity has many layers. But in society, we gotta kind of move about in a certain way. I feel like society tries to make us pick a topic or pick a label and stick to it, which brings me to this latest thought I've had, which is sexual orientation. Orientation is a word at that, okay? It's how you identify your sexuality. There's many, many ways. I don't know if y'all feel like sharing, but I would like to dive in. Who wanna go
I'm down to
first?
talk about.
Let's talk about it.
I want to touch on self-identity and when it comes to stereotypes because I get it. There's a lot of people that always need to have a reason, right?
Right.
They always need to have a definition. They always have to connect it to something. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's with artists as well. You're like, oh, this artist is parallel to another art. So it's the next best. I'm like, no, honey, I'm the next best me. Like,
Yes.
That's just that. So when it comes to sexual orientation, like be into and be with whoever you want to be with. If you don't have to have a title to make somebody else understand you.
100.
One of the best quotes I've ever heard was, never convince or even try to tell someone, it's along these lines, who you are when they're convinced and they're pretty much biased as to liking you, understanding you already as it is. So you trying to pretty much convince them of who you are or what you represent is not really going to go anywhere. Because they already don't want to like you anyways. They're already looking for a reason to try to front you with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I don't fight with people. Like, I'm not with the war shit. Like, I like who I like. It is what it is. I fuck who I want to fuck. What you gonna say about that?
Period.
Like, me and my bed has absolutely nothing to do with you, period. Unless you're in it. Okay?
Right. Okay.
All right. So that's what I think.
I like that. I feel like sometimes we don't even know what it is. I feel like it's definitely something that takes time and experience and being able to be vulnerable with yourself. I know that they say there are at least 15 types of sexual orientation out there. And I have, yes,
Which
girl,
I find
15?
wild.
yeah, it's crazy. At least 15.
I mean, you can be a lot of things.
You could be a lot of things. You could like a lot of different things.
I just feel like the idea of sexual orientation in general was just outdated. Like,
Why?
why worry about it right now?
That's what
Like,
I was gonna say.
like things change, and I feel like as you go through different things in your life, you need different types of energy, right? You have to balance the feminine and the masculine, and you may find that in a different person.
Yes.
And it doesn't, like, even when it comes to like sexual orientation, sometimes people make that like all encompassing. Like, they're only female, they're only this one, they're only willing to be one way, and they feel like they can't change later.
Yes.
Do what you need to do as the moment comes. So defining yourself now just limits you in the future.
100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say I tend to not comment on things that I have no clue how it feels or idea about, and in return, it gauges a lot of respect. You know,
Yes.
from different kinds of people who are different sexual orientations. Don't get me wrong, like I've definitely slipped up on people's pronouns and I've been corrected before, but I've never taken it like, oh my gosh, this is just such an extra effort I have to make. It's like, oh, thank you. This is like an ignorance I want to cure in myself, just like I'm sure a lot of people who grew up maybe not being exposed to a lot of different sexualities feel. Like, just like we have to be, okay, it's Black History Month. We ain't gonna go there. But I am open to it. And obviously I am just super, super here for protecting our Black trans women.
Always.
We need to protect our Black trans women right now. These women need us. I love you. And I just want to protect people who need it and who aren't recognized and whose a lot of ignorance is placed upon. So we're here for you, and I don't judge. Do you, baby?
Right.
I was actually going to touch on what Star was actually talking about when it comes to like the different energies, because I kind of noticed this just because, you know, I'm a reader. But usually when it comes to people who are in a relationship, when it comes to whether you're a guy or a girl, sometimes girls that have more masculine energy attract men who have feminine energy.
Wow.
And sometimes it's vice versa. Like, for example, I really like someone who's dominant, but don't try me. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, because I have more feminine energy, I'm kind of gravitating towards something that's more foundational. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that energy for sexual orientation, that happens. And there's girls sometimes that have all masculine energy and they feel like they're a guy in a girl's body, and vice versa. So I definitely agree with that. Go with your flow.
Go with your flow. Yeah.
Literally.
I
And-
definitely. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like the stigmas on just relationships in general. It's just so different in 2021. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it, 30, 40 years ago, we called people swingers or this and that. You know, it's so funny to
We're
think.
not calling them swingers now?
I know,
'Cause
sis. We call them
Yeah,
like,
y'all swinging. Like,
we call them throuples, or we call them
oh, unicorns.
Open relationships.
Yeah, or they're in an open relationship, or they're with a partner who's, you know, it can be.
I always
it can
took
be,
swingers as like purely like sexual. Like
Okay.
you guys just trade wives or something.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Something like that. I wasn't thinking about like relationship wise.
That's true. You know, I mean, that's the, oh my gosh, that's the thing. Just like with orientation, it's like the relationship titles. We feel that it could be one way, just like a certain orientation might be, but it's a case by case situation. You have to ask the person in said relationship or part of said orientation, because there's so many different ways that people do it. Like an open relationship to somebody could just be an entanglement to the next. You know what I mean? And that's where it all boils. Entanglement, mama.
That was a word for 2020.
That is a word. Or
Yes,
situation.
We've been entangled with COVID for way too long.
Period. You know what? But I will say, when it comes to relationships, I've always tried to hold it down and remain accountable for who I am, and kind of not have any double standards of my partner if I'm looking at a partner. And I feel like one thing for me, like Thais was saying, was that you can have some type of feminine energy and attract masculine energy. Just like if you have more dominant or masculine male energy, you might attract feminine. And that's definitely, I have some dominant ass energy. I am a Sag,
That's
100%.
Tell him.
And I do not mind if my boy is a little dorky, a little goofy. If he want to, get a little fruity on me, it's what it is. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's crazy. I don't know if it's in the Black community or the just women in general, but it seems like as if a man can't be vulnerable, he's either sweet, he's not straight, and if he is, then it's a problem.
Well, it's how they're raised. Like, if we just want to be 100% with it, like, I feel like men and women, when they get raised, it should be a specific way. Like, we shouldn't be taught that we only have to get married and have kids, or that we should be okay with the man dominating us and that's what love is. But when it comes to a man, they shouldn't have to feel like if they're crying that that's a problem.
100.
And that's why they keep it in. And about time they get to us, we like, can you open up? Is that okay with you? It's like literally asking a mountain to move. It's impossible close to it until, progress and love like lets in. But yeah, I agree with that. Be vulnerable. I like that. I don't care if you're dominant. Like, please cry. Yeah. Like, I like the fact that you're doing that, because to me, you look stronger. That's period.
And I want to say, like, I've met some men who are like, who were raised to be emotionally vulnerable. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like an open thing for them. And being somebody who was raised in a household where it's just not accepted. Like, I was younger and I was afraid to say my favorite color was pink. So like femininity and like things that, we may perceive as like more weak, I guess, as the feminine, right? Were scary. So meeting people like that for me is almost like, nah, you're too soft. Like it's a judgmental thing I've learned that I have to work through. Like, because they're in a right place. It's me who's fucked up in that situation.
Fascinating. And I kind of want to dive deeper into that. So we have the soft type, we have the goofy type, we have the vulnerable type. Now that's just character. Now I want to talk about who they are, what they've done. So one of my hottest topics is bisexuality and the double standard that comes with it. I identify as bisexual, and for the longest time, I thought that I was nervous of what my family would say. And then I've learned that there's also a stigma just behind being bisexual. Like, it's crazy. It's almost discrediting. But I feel like men get the worst side of that, because men, if they're bisexual, a lot of times they are discounted, discredited, or just disadvantaged 100%, especially in a relationship aspect. So, with that being said, y'all gonna date somebody? Y'all gonna date a man who's bisexual? Keep it real.
Probably not.
That looks over here. Okay, so I'm not gonna be honest.
Open-minded one at the table.
Seven, what you say?
Listen. I classify as bisexual too.
Period.
I am very well endowed in that area. But when it comes to
She said what she said.
when it comes down to you doing what, listen, I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. Do whatever it is that you want. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. So I need for you to be honest with me. I don't want to find out later that you're bisexual.
Ooh.
I need to find out now.
Okay.
What if he doesn't find out till later?
Oh.
No, honey, listen. No. Guys know what they like and what they don't like. Listen, you may try something that you may not just randomly, be like, you know what? I want to suck some dick today. Or whatever the case may be.
I think some men
My
are just
woman
scared to
is
try
not
it till
giving me
later.
attention. Let me go figure out what I can get. It happens. But my whole thing is I don't mind, okay? But you need to be honest with me because I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to be when I am. I feel whoever is my reflection, my person, you're going to be like me, obviously. Just tell me what it is.
Yes.
Jesus.
I like that. Teal, what about you?
Nope.
Ooh. Nope. Period. Okay. Do you care to explain why? Is there any particular reason, or you just haven't found somebody who happens to also be that, and whoop-de-whoop?
I mean, to each his own. That's cool. But in my own personal relationship, I'm like monogamous AF. So my brain doesn't really think outside those boxes.
I like that.
Really. And
Loyal
it's
as
cool.
hell.
It's cool. Like it's cool.
I like that. Loyalty. Oh my gosh. You know what? Get me to a place where I don't even got to think about that bullshit. Who cares, honey? I got a man at home. Fuck you talking about?
Enjoy. Women are beautiful. Like I love women. I love men. Like women are beautiful. But when you're in it, you're in it. Like just do it. Just do what you set out to do.
100.
That is what it is.
Star, you gonna date a man who identifies as bisexual?
I really could. I feel like when I get into a relationship, because it's been a while, right?
Okay.
And a lot of it's been on purpose because I want somebody who I feel like will lead me. And although that may not take away their ability to lead, I'm not going to say that. But like, I don't know. Especially not if you're getting, bent over. Like, I just can't, in my head, I don't want that. You know what I mean? I want you to be the leader.
Okay. I'm not trying to lead, she says.
I don't want nobody leading you either.
I just have to say, the only kind of man I know that if you get like an inch close to their ass, it's like, whoa, 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 and they just go running towards the other side of the room, like jump across the room.
Yeah, I was saying it's alphas. The people who describe themselves as alphas, I've said this before, they are the ones that are afraid of touching their own booty hole. Like, and it's so weird. It's like, why are you afraid? Why? It's yours.
What is so wrong about it? You know what? Okay,
it just makes me think they don't wash their ass enough. You know what I mean?
That could be.
Oh.
Is it because they're hiding something? She says. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Bend over.
Right.
That's how you get a woman, though. She'll teach you about all that. Like, babe, you could go to the waxing place, right? And they'll do that. And he's like, a girl?
No, why not?
A girl gonna bend me over? Yeah, I'm gonna get his balls waxed. I mean...
Did you guys see
Let 'em
Serena
know.
Williams? I think it was Serena Williams. I might be thinking of it different, but it's a black woman. She married a white man, and he had posted one day on Twitter. He said, "I didn't know that we used washcloths until I got married." I was like,
no.
Why do
it.
you not know how to use washcloths?
Oh, I saw that.
That's
I saw
like a
that
thing.
meme before too. I'm like, wait,
That's ridiculous.
How do you not
That's
know?
That's
So
terrifying.
so is it just because
What do you do?
have
You
a
just use your
specific
hand?
penis? Like
That's
what
not
is
gonna-
that?
Soap.
So you
or-
don't think your ass
Soap to body?
matters?
You
Is-
know, see, here's the thing, though. But back onto the orientation, I feel like maybe that's what it could be. My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to.
We took
went
a
on
whole
tangent.
side
My
route.
bad. But I feel like back to that, like maybe that's why they're so fidgety or they're so this or so that. Like, look at Tyler the Creator. He was goblin. He was OF. He was like, I'm a rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a
He was
threesome. Like
very
he was
aggressive.
vulgar and he was so homophobic. He would just say really bad things that were homophobic. And now he identifies as bisexual. So maybe that whole fidgety, don't touch my booty hole, that might be like a projection of, sis, I don't know if I want to go down that route because I've been thinking about it. But I don't know. Because the way I see it is I've met men.
I don't see it like
I
I've
wasn't
met men-
surprised when he said he was bisexual. I don't
Really?
Yeah, when he came out, I was like, oh, okay.
I was just like, but why all the homophobia, sir?
I mean,
Because
he
Frank
is.
Ocean's in the same little group.
Ocean,
They
you guys
work
have to-
together
you
a
guys
lot.
have to
Like,
understand that
I don't
black
think that
men
was
aren't-
surprising.
Black men aren't even allowed to show each other any grace or care.
hug.
Like you go over to Europe and your daddy's gonna kiss you on the lips until you are grown. Same thing in Italy. Same thing in Brazil.
Mhm. This is true.
Men are allowed to at least show each other some compassion and care. Us women, we can be all up on each other. We can be making out with each other at the club, and we can be best friends, and no one's thinking anything of it. So why, if like your two guy friends want to hold fucking hands walking down the street, who gives a fuck what happens after that? But like, I think it should all be allowed, and I love to see it. I genuinely love to see it. It's a really cool space to be in, and these men need it. These black men need it. They need to just take off that armor and just like be who you are.
Please.
Please, I love it more. I love it more.
So
maybe
like,
I would date a bisexual.
I was
man.
gonna say, but see that now it's coming for so you see what I'm saying?
So
We have
full
converted
circle.
her.
I
When
feel
you
like
think about it,
you've
it's
met.
so full first.
I feel like you've met men who are bisexual, who are alpha or beta in the moment, or like we've met men who take charge and take demand, but we don't even know what they've done in the bedroom. And I feel like the second we learn, sometimes we can discredit them. But there's been times where it's like the most dominant of men have dabbled in experiences, but that does not make them any less of a dominating male just because they've been with the same sex. Just as I've been with a female, I don't feel like that makes me any more dominant or more male-like just because I was with a female. So it's like, I'm not going to knock you for that because you like what you like. It doesn't matter on a business perspective or even on a personal perspective.
All right,
That's
you guys
just
are
me, though.
opening my perspective.
I like this.
I
it's
think
just-
so.
Yeah. I don't know. They say a statistic they have is that 19% of bisexual people feel the people around them aren't aware of their orientation, but also wouldn't approve. So like bisexual males and females are afraid to tell anybody around them because they they feel that there might be disapproval with it.
What was the percentage again?
19%. So nothing crazy, but 19% of bisexual people kind of hold back from being who they are because of the stigmas around it. And so I feel like it's important to talk
That's a
about.
very low number. Like I
I
would
feel
think it
like
would be
it's
higher.
present.
Yeah.
I would think it would be higher.
I would
Yeah.
think so too, because there's way too many. I've heard way too many stories. Like for one, I used to have a gay best friend, so I love him to the death. If you're listening to this, what's good was popping.
Hey,
But all the stories I would hear, and not even just because he identified as gay, but he looks masculine when you see him. So it's always like there's a contradiction happening. It's like, that's not what it is. Like he would still beat your ass.
Yes.
Like he would still get to the point of being dominant. But the stories of like guys on Facebooks when it comes to their wives, like all these different things of people just not pretty much being honest with themselves, that it hurts other people. Like that's the whole point of me saying just be honest. Like
Yes.
I understand there's going to be someone who's going to make you feel like you can't speak your truth, but that's why you need to open up that throat chakra. Because I know it's hard for a lot of different people in their situations, but like hear it from me, like please just be honest with yourself, be honest with people around you, because honey, once the rainbow light shines, there's nothing like it. Okay? We're going to love you more, not less on this side.
That's good. And that all comes with like exploration.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we learn from our past. We learn from experiencing things. I've had some fun experiences, y'all. I'm gonna say it. I done dipped into everything: the ropes, the ties, the candy, the food.
Yes.
Have y'all ever dabbled with food in the bedroom?
Honey.
Food?
Uh-oh.
you mean eating in bed and then watching Netflix?
No.
Yeah, sure, every weekend. Yes, ma'am.
I used to have a body powder that tasted like marshmallow.
Ooh.
That one was good. That was a fun time.
Ooh, okay.
Can I put this marshmallow on your dick?
They had a honey flavor too, actually.
Oh, I like that. So they have like aphrodisiacs. There's that little aphrodisiac in certain foods, or you can buy things that are.
You mean those pills you can get at
You can get the
7-Eleven?
pills at the gas station, but don't do that, men. I want to tell you right now that is a
Please.
headache.
I do not
in a
need
package.
anyone to have a heart attack on me.
They're really
or
not worth it.
for your dick to be hard for so long that there's nothing I can do about
Just
it.
go drink a beer, bro, like, or two.
Something.
Please
Some-
Shot of
just
tequila.
don't down the pill.
Technically, the wait, is beer an aphrodisiac?
I don't know, actually.
Hey,
I mean, I
busted.
think about that.
I mean,
I
I'd
was like,
imagine
wait,
wine
beer?
is.
That's a really
Wine.
easy one.
No,
Wine for sure.
I've heard like the oyster thing.
Oysters. I looked it
Oysters.
up actually. So honestly, I think it's pretty much anything that's kind of like phallic looking in general. Like, does it look like a stick? Well, you know what I mean? They have
Like a
artichokes on
banana.
here. Artichokes, asparagus, chocolate, figs, oysters,
Chocolate.
spicy chili peppers,
Ooh.
strawberries, and watermelon.
Strawberries,
think about
yeah,
it,
strawberries
like,
are classic.
I feel like that's anything that's it all kind of
But think of
resembles.
the chili pepper. It's like, and then all of a sudden
it heats up your blood. You're like, ooh, baby, what's up?
You're gonna eat it. You eat it, right? You
You
ain't gonna
eat
put
it.
that on your body. That
No,
was
no, no, no.
Oh,
It's the feeling you get from it, right, when you eat it.
Yeah, it's eating.
Oh,
yes.
hell no. Not on my nipples.
Trying to get some zing.
No.
Oh my
Is that
gosh.
Okay.
That actually.
I
Yeah,
know
we're
about
not putting
the
it on our
wine
body.
for sure.
For sure.
Wine, yeah.
For sure.
That'll get me.
For
I was
sure.
surprised about
Yeah.
the asparagus because that one,
Really?
yeah, because
Asparagus is good. though.
Asparagus-
I
I'll
love
take some.
asparagus. I don't know.
It obviously does have something to do with that specific area because they say when you eat asparagus, your pee is a lot more strong.
Yeah,
So
it-
something in the area gets activated.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
All
Actually.
right,
Maybe
all
it's
right,
a
all right.
cleansing
The
thing, I
libido.
I
guess.
don't know.
You know, they say, okay, so I haven't really tried to eat aphrodisiacs. Like, okay, chocolate's one. It's not like I'm out here like popping a Snickers in my mouth before I bust down. But like, I feel like incorporating food. I feel like incorporating food. It's not safe, but it's fun as hell. Like on
How is
him,
it not safe?
Okay,
mean,
the
I like
sugar.
the classic is right.
The sugar that
For your
if you get
blood
the
or
sh-
like-
yeah, if you get any
Oh, yeah,
sugar like in your
no.
hoo ha, yeast
No.
infection throws off
yeah.
your pH. But
Wow.
on him,
Oh.
if
On
you clean
him.
it up, if you do a good job, you don't even have to worry about it.
What about
because
like the sugar free?
If you do a
dairy
good job.
free. I don't sugar free is fine because that's what they put in flavored lubricants. So they put a little
Oh.
aspartame in there, and that's what sweetens it
I
up.
bet you they have. You know what they need to make? A dang faux whipped cream lube.
You know what? They should. I
For-
think it's a
Like
matter
a
of the
faux
glycerin.
whipped cream.
Because
That's
it's
something
gonna
you never
absorb
saw
too quick.
before.
That's the problem.
We need to.
Well,
Yeah.
something like that.
Something
They
like
got
that.
the edible
we gonna
undies.
talk. We gonna talk
They
to.
got the edible undies. They can do
yeah.
that.
Wait,
we
we
gonna
gotta
talk to
add that
Hustler.
out.
We'll
That's
get
a
on
business plan.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Have we tried whipped cream or chocolate before on the body? Little
Yeah,
body
whipped
art.
cream
Yeah.
for sure.
Whipped
The
cream.
strawberries were that's been a thing.
Anything
Mostly
different? You ever get creative though?
I just
Eating wise
honey.
or
That's it.
Honey.
I like honey.
Honey.
I'm like Winnie the Pooh, bitch.
Okay.
Honey is my jam. Oh my god, I would put that bitch on anything.
You know what?
Including a blunt.
Oh yeah, put it on a blunt.
That's
and
right.
then put it on him.
We're gonna do that
Yeah.
next time.
Hell yeah!
Next
I've
time.
tried cough drops.
do it.
That's my secret.
Oh.
Little halls in the mouth before you go
Relax
down. Okay.
Oh
It
my
will-
God.
And then you blow on it, baby. I'm telling you.
She's like, let me get
Give him
that
the play
dick red.
button.
Cough drops. Yes. I don't know if he should do it to you. Maybe just get the ice cubes because, like I said, the sugar.
that
But
might be
hey,
a little interesting.
For him, get creative. I was sick one time and I was like, wait a minute. You say this strep throat talking.
She's like,
That is
Mountain Fresh.
wow.
So I say,
commercial.
Spearmint. Winter mint.
yes.
Hire her.
So now I say get creative. I'm gonna try some other things. I'll
No,
come back.
like
I'll
I
talk
like
to you.
the rose petal thing.
Okay.
But like make sure they like your person like picks them up and like tickles them with you and
Yeah.
drips them on you and then gets the
Ooh.
flower and like tickles you really, really softly places.
There you
like,
go.
ooh, I'm all about that
baby.
foreplay though. I'm all about
That's
that
right.
like
Say it.
setting a vibe, setting a romantic scene because then I feel like when I'm giving myself and we're in that moment, I can be so much more free because it feels a little more
Mhm.
sacred than say like old school days where it just
Pull up
Fucking
and
around.
pull your pants down.
Mhm.
yeah, possibly in the car.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
The
Okay.
tea, the
Yeah,
tea.
no food play in the car. I wouldn't say that. But that's, you know what, I think, and that goes back to kind of like, you say foreplay, and what I hear is like just connecting, you know, whether that's immediately before or just in general. You got to connect with your partner, literally. So I'm like, okay, what we need to do is get these men's and women's chakras balanced. We need to do a little yoga, get a little fruit out, a little something, a little grapefruit. And get it popping. I feel like that's the recipe for it all.
Yeah.
If you want a healthy sex life, right here.
Absolutely.
That
Right
was
here.
the recipe.
That was the recipe right there. There's other natural things that you can try to increase your libido out there. But I mean, besides that, it's kind of just up to you. And I think it's a mental thing for sure.
Just get you a woman who's ready to put in the work in the bedroom.
Put in the work.
In a bedroom.
Like,
And a
heart
man.
rate's popping,
All of
like,
them.
sweat
If you go into the
dripping.
bedroom, you better be ready, okay?
Right.
Don't come here with no half-ass shit.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, do we have any plans for Valentine's Day, ladies?
We
We
do.
do.
Ooh, in unison.
Yeah. And apparently I'm not invited. Wow.
We love you, baby.
Phil said that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not my event to invite. So.
It's not it, and it's not romantic. I know she loves
So
me,
why the fuck
and I
you
love her
lying?
too.
Like,
But
no, I'm joking.
What are you guys doing? Now I
It's a
want to know.
Oh no, I'm
Her
doing
mom
my
knows.
very first photo shoot. It's
Lovely.
yeah, I won't tell the theme because I do want that to be but it's gonna be my first one that I've been talking about for a while. So
If you're hearing this, you better send Star some good energy right motherfucking now. 'Cause she
Hell
gonna slay this
yes.
photo shoot.
She's going
I'm
to work.
flipping my hair right now.
Yes, you see it. I love it. Okay, well, I mean,
Oh, okay, I thought y'all had some secret like wine and chocolate plans. I was like, oh hell no, if you leave me out of the wine,
Baby. But it's Valentine's Day. You gonna leave your boyfriend at home?
Ooh.
Evja, we gonna take your girlfriend.
okay.
Said you right. I guess.
Probably all right. Anyways, no plans I know of.
Okay, I like that. Well, Teal, hit me up. All right, if somebody falls through, I'm right here. I got 2 bottles of wine.
That's right.
We could get on Netflix. And
Treat
some face
yourself,
masks.
girl. Go do that yoni steam we were talking about.
Yoni
Oh, let's
steam.
do
Treat
it.
yourself.
Maybe that week, maybe not on Valentine's, but maybe that weekend we do a little
yes.
like FaceTimes and face masks.
Galentine's.
You heard it
Day.
here first. You
That's what
guys,
we
you heard it here
We're
first.
doing a Galentine's. All right. I'm always
Ooh,
here for that.
I like this. Okay, well, you know what? As we plan our little Valentine's Day, we don't mean to make you jealous. Hopefully you got some plans too. With that being said, we hope that you continue your week on a beautiful note. We've set your intentions. We've opened your mind. We've blessed you with a little something sweet. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining me on episode 4. Tell them a little something.
All right, everyone. Peace out. Have a great evening.
Stay
Blessed
black.
Black History Month.
Love you guys. Stay lit and stay naked.
Period. Cool.
All right.